Right, another day at the workshop and another day on the Volvo Turbo MX5. Today, well, I must be honest, I'm kind of running out of a lot of things to do because I need parts to arrive before I can do a lot more, but I'm sort of working a lot of things out. So today, I've been figuring out where the intercooler and radiator is going to go. On MX5s normally, you often see them with really, turbo ones and supercharged ones. They've got real small, skinny front mounts, and yeah, it's a bit shit, I must admit. So I wanted to fit something proper, but also I didn't want something too heavy. So in my head, I had like a 600 by 300 by 76 mil, so 3-inch thick, fair size intercooler. What they'd normally say, wow, it's pretty proven even at like 600 brake and high boost. And an alloy one of them upstairs, same as I run on the Corolla actually, and that was 150 in a standing half mile with a stock 3S GTE engine, or stock internals. So yeah, I had one of them. I thought that'd be it, and it's really light. It's tube and fin rather than bar and plate, so it's not quite as efficient as bar and plate, but these seem really good and really effective. And obviously, because this tube and fin is really light, and I'm trying to make the car as light as possible, this was ideal for me. So I messed about, had a look where it might fit. It was looking pretty tricky, but then after removing some brackets and stuff that aren't needed, I realised it fits really nicely there. And if we have a look from underneath, the intercooler pipes, obviously the jack stands are hiding it a bit, but they're either side there, which means there's room for it to snake around the anti-roll bar and then up either side to the turbo and to the inlet. Looks like it should work. I could potentially even come up there. Either way, there's plenty of room without hitting the without the intercooler pipes hitting the wheels or anything, or suspension. So yeah, that was quite easy. I'll make some ducting from the front bumper right to it, and like I've mentioned before, because it really helped the aero, never mind the cooling, on my Cosy engine one, this front section, on the Cosy one, I literally cut a letterbox style hole there because it had a Cosy intercooler which literally sits behind that bit and nowhere else. On this one, because it's going to be from that hole to practically there, I don't know, I might just cut a load of holes, whatever, I'm not really too fussed. The problem is, as you might have guessed, that's where the radiator normally goes, and I could fit one in, further forward, but it would be compromising size. It would be an unusual size for sure. Yeah, and it's more weight at the front I didn't really want. So my initial thought was, maybe I put it at the back. And then I spoke to Thomas, and without even a second not even a half a second hesitation, he's like, yes, I'll put it in the back. So, wow. I'm gonna put it in the back. Obviously on Thomas's Sylvia and loads of other cars he's built, he's done rear mount. We actually did rear mount on one of mine as well, actually, in the past, and yeah, it's fine. So what it's going to do is lie near as damn it, if not completely flat here, with sort of a header tanky, overflowy, whatever bit here, so the air don't get trapped. The coolant lines will run front to rear, job done. First thing Thomas said when he saw that space was SR21, as in, S14 SR21. And funnily enough, we had one over there from his Sylvia. So I grabbed it and seen how well it might fit, and I'll show you. Basically, it's like a fucking glove. I mean, literally, if you look here, it's right on the edge of the wheel well as well. It, you know, couldn't be much more perfect. So now, I just need to cut a hole. I've already ordered an alloy version of this, which will need modifying a little bit for, you know, because the cap will need blanking off, and we'll make a new, well, Thomas will, because I can't TIG for shit, make a, like a expansion tank type thing here, and we'll go from there. So for now, I'm going to cut that part of the boot out. Literally, you only need to cut out as much as the core. You don't need to cut bigger, because, well, you want it to be as sealed as possible.
How does it fit?
Unbelievably well. Like you knew instantly how SR20, you know, how big they are.
If you drop this down, where this sits, so you can make just quick mounts here.
Yeah, you could do whatever.
You slide it in and then just mount it in the front.
It's absolutely super easy. And I've literally already measured it, and yeah, because central is about there.
You just cut the hole in between the chassis legs.
It turns out a rear mount. I mean, you said it with no hesitation. The minute I said, "Where's the radiator gonna go?" You're like, "The back." So there you go. So
obviously.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna cut around those holes.
Just to give you an idea how well remote radiator works, this is the standard one for the SR20, and this was working on my race car with my modified engine, no problems. I mean, if you want to have a look, show them how small of a obviously hose to get the air out was.
Well, that was in the last video in that OM606 one. I'll link it in that actually. Yeah, I'll link this to it again. Yeah.
No problems. Everyone will be like, no, you're gonna boil it. You're gonna lots of issues.
And that had some very small holes, didn't it, to let the air in and out. This will have bigger, because obviously I'm going to cut. It's going to have the entire core space will be open to underneath, and it'll get sucked out because of the, you know, like you said, it's low pressure anyway. So yeah, good times. So now I'm going to probably put this on a tripod, and you can do a bit of a time lapse of me cutting a big hole in the boot. Right, there's now a big hole in the MX5 floor. Little lesson for you all here is, don't just assume. I'm used to having wheel wells where, you know, you cut out the wheel well, that's the end of it. Didn't really think MX5s are so fucking small that even before the back of the wheel well is the rear sort of, and you know, the part of the chassis, and I've cut a little bit too much. So I mean, it's no big, it doesn't matter. I'm literally gonna have to weld that back up again. It doesn't affect anything. It's just a bit annoying that I now have to weld that back up. You know, because I presume the chassis is going to start further back, so I just chopped away without even looking underneath the car, and it was a mistake. Don't matter, but done now. The radiator fits mint. The one issue, it's not an issue, it's a standard inlet or outlet, whichever way you want to call it, is there, and I can't cut there because again that's part of the chassis. But because it's an alloy one, we're going to fit rather than the standard one. Thomas can just blank off the original and put the port, you know, 2 inches further along, which goes here, so the clearance. So not a problem. So yeah, big hole in the floor. Obviously I need to tidy it up and everything before it gets done, gets used, but it's perfect for the SR20 rad. So when that turns up, took some metal out. In all honesty, that probably weighs pretty much what the rad does anyway. So I'm not making any difference there, and obviously there's no rad in the front anymore, so if you know, it kind of helps weight distribution really. So very happy with that. So that's two things ticked off. Now I don't know what I'm going to do, because I need to fucking have some parts to arrive. Bushes are on their way. That'd be a big job, fitting poly bush in the whole car front to rear. But I need a cage. I don't really even want to fit the bucket seats yet until the cage is in. I need to know if there's any, you know, we need to make any alterations to the position. Cage has to go in first, realistically. Obviously I have to build the engine, but I need all the parts for that. Nope. Yeah, there's, there's a lot of things I need to do, but I ain't got the bits. So, yeah. Watch your space. The eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed something that's quite different about old Gaston here right now, compared to the last bit of footage you've seen, and all previous footage for that matter. Let me walk around here. It's red, all of it. There's the other side skirt. Basically, it was covered, well, half covered, because some of it had been taken off already, covered in some fucking dog shit wrap. Really, I don't know, pink and silver and awful. So I've just removed it all, and some of it underneath was knackered because the wrap was pulling the paint off, and some of the paint was a bit shit anyway, and there was some bits that was primered, and yeah, all sorts. So I literally grabbed a red spray can, not anywhere near the right colour, but close enough to get an idea, and basically any patchy bits, or any significant patchy bits, I went over in red quickly to have a look, and the result is, looks way less shit. Don't get me wrong, the paint is fucked, there's no way, you know, it's staying like this. It's got to get painted, but yeah, it's red again, which I literally did it, like I said, I wanted to see what it looked like, and the answer's not bad. I'm still really inclined to make it, well, just do it satin black, in all honesty, because A, I can do it myself, B, I like it, and you know, and C, it's easy. I mean, Thomas's S14, put a bit of light on it. Yeah, Thomas's S14 has been, oh, my camera's knackered. His satin black has been for years and years, and yeah, it looks fine. I've done a few cars satin black. Back in the day, it got so common, it was like really like a shit thing to do. And now, yeah, of course it's not like, you know, so fancy cool paint, but that car's not about that. This car's about having fun. And I'm in two minds whether I want to go to the effort of getting it, you know, getting it properly painted, and more to the point, paying somebody to do it, because it's red is not an easy colour. Red is also a colour that ends up going pink, and look, I mean, look at the bumper and bonnet. Yeah, I don't mind red. It's not my favourite colour, but I don't mind it. But, you know, to get it all right, everything will need painting. Under the bonnet, in the boot, because obviously a lot of things are being modified. Inside. And, yeah, that ain't easy. What is easy, however, is me spraying the whole thing myself in satin black. Because for anyone who's never painted satin black before, it's incredibly forgiving. Like, no joke, you can be the shittest sprayer in the world and do what looks like a really tidy job with satin black. And satin black's so easy as well to touch up, literally, like, you know, it's obviously something to do with the satin colour. It doesn't pick it up, so like you can damage something, you just quickly spray it over and it's fucking invisible. You know, I've done it on many cars and countless sets of wheels, and it literally is the ultimate turd polisher, providing you don't like shiny shit, and I don't like shiny stuff anyway. But I could do the whole car like that, inside out, under bonnet, everywhere, and then make it stay like that very nicely, very easily. These skirts, by the way, I thought they were OEM because they're plastic. I thought they were Mazda Speed ones. I'm not sure, but they are OEM Mazda, but made in Austria. Possibly by some company called Volvo, maybe? I can't read this language. And that's the part number. Yeah, I thought they were Mazda Speed skirts, but instead they were made in the Mazda building hotbed of Austria. So I don't know. Anyone know anything about them? I don't really care too much, but I do quite like them. They look alright. You know, they kind of suit the car while being subtle. So they're going to stay. Not strictly related to the wrap removal and making things red, but the Sparco carbon seats are cool as fuck, fair play. I just noticed, well, I should know because they're my seats, but I had the door open for a while, so when I opened it to get rid of the wrap off the sills and saw them again, it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, they're badass. Just needs a cage now. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm going to paint the whole car black, satin black. Just because. So, like it or not, I reckon that's going to be how it goes, but we will see. That can wait for now. Obviously, SR20 radiator going in that. But obviously I weren't going to use the standard one. I got this one. Literally Chinese aluminium one, but honestly the quality is fantastic. You know, this was like, I think 110 quid delivered, something like that. You know, it's pretty hard to go wrong. And more to the point, while it is bloody good quality, the core is pretty much double. So it's double capacity, great quality, obviously easy to weld, well, TIG weld to modify, because it does need modifying slightly for this application because it's aluminium, and it was like 110 quid, so winner. Next thing I'm doing, well, as you can see here, I've got the wheels off and a few other bits and pieces, and that's because there is nothing underneath the car anymore. I have removed the rear subframe. Turns out it's pretty easy on these, must admit. I did it all on my own. All I had to help was I used one trolley jack, and yeah, it all come off in one piece, quite easy. I'd never done it before, I didn't even look how to do it. I just thought, fuck it, can't be that hard. And it wasn't, to be fair. So here it is. Literally the old lot. Took it off in one piece, including the power plant frame, because although I undid the two big bolts that hold the PPF to the diff, it didn't actually come off. Maybe I'm missing something, I don't know, I don't care. It all come off in one piece. But yeah, it's off. Also good news is I marked on the diff. Let me see if I can show you. No, I can't remember where I scratched it now. Basically, I put a mark so I knew. Oh, it's there, I think. See that? Let's put that to the top. I'm gonna go once round with the hub, and that will tell us the diff ratio. I already know, but I'm gonna do it for you. So, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and there. So I'm pretty certain it's a 4.1 to 1 diff, which is perfect. You can get shorter on these, but not by much, like easily available. There are much shorter, but they're not so easy available. But going by my vague, you know, estimations by this, but it's not very vague, it's close enough. This looks to be a 4.1 to 1 diff, which is bang on for what I want. Much shorter than the normal Volvo gearing. I mean, my 940 has got 3.54 rear end. I know from experience of doing it to other cars, you go from like a 3.5 or so to a low 4s, and it's like night and day difference in acceleration. Like, it's a different car. You know, it feels like a fucking, you've added, wow, 30 plus horsepower. More than that, actually. It is a different car in acceleration. So, yeah, mine's 3.54 in the Volvo. This is 4.1. It's also gone away probably, I mean, the Volvo's fully stripped, but there's no way that Volvo weighs less than about 1250. And hopefully the MX5 will probably weigh, well, somewhere around 900. So I'll be saving over 300 kilos, much shorter diff ratio, and wow, probably a fair bit more power. I don't know how much more power, but a fair bit more power, and a lot more torque, half a litre in capacity. So yeah, there's no two ways about it. The MX5 will be way faster than the Volvo, and the Volvo is not exactly fucking slow. So yeah, the reason this is all off is for 2 reasons. A, to fit poly bushes, because it's got a few, but I want to poly bush the whole lot, everything, front and rear, but I haven't obviously touched the front yet. And also, while it's all apart, I will maybe shot blast, sandblast this to get it mint. I don't know whether, I don't know. I can't be bothered powder coating it, I don't think. But I think it's probably worth sandblasting it first to get it as good as possible. I mean, I don't know how good it'll get it. It's not bad as it is, just a bit of wire wheel love. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. But I don't really want to powder coat it, because the trouble with powder coating, you always, obviously because it's quite thick, it always means it's a fucker to fit stuff, because obviously the powder coat has, you know, where you're bolting stuff up, has now made it thicker. You don't really want that. I'm just happy to just give it a good coat of paint, you know, spray some of that anti-rust primer on it, and then a good coat of, I don't know, maybe even black hammerite or something, I don't know. But first, I better dismantle this, I suppose. Again, I don't really know how, but it's not exactly difficult, is it? So I'm going to spray everything with WD to give myself a hand and start unbolting shit. And also, this camera is nearly out of bloody batteries, and the other 2 batteries are flat. I don't know how they're all so flat. The cold weather probably don't help, because it seems to affect these GoPro batteries. But yeah, I guess I better go on with it. Well, about an hour later, it's all apart. The whole rear end anyway, obviously front end still to go. But for now, rear end is all apart, and it was fairly painless, considering this is like an early as fuck MX5 and one that has sat for the last 5 years, and God knows how well it's been treated before that. we're talking a 30-year-old car. It come apart alright. And a 30-year-old car in the UK. And we ain't got the kind of weather that kind of suits cars not rusting to fuck. But honestly, it was alright. Everything came apart. Everything is serviceable. Like no bolts snapped. Even the adjustment bolts are serviceable. I kind of expected these to end up snapping and ending up in the bin, but there go again. You know, I'm going to I might buy new ones, but to be honest, I might put them in some anti-rust solution and clean them up and see, because to be honest, they look pretty good. They're all, you know, 2 of them put up more of a fight than the other 2, but they all came out and they're all, nothing snapped. The only poly bushes that was in this original setup were these ones, which I'll end up changing anyway, because, you know, they're probably alright, but I may as well fit all new ones. Yeah, I still don't know whether to shot blast this or just wire wheel and so on the shit out of it and then just paint it. I don't know. I know Thomas is very keen for me to, you know, shot blast it all, but I don't know. It's not like I like cutting corners, but I just like to get shit done. And same with the exhaust. He really wants me to make some super fancy one and he'll make it for me. But I'd rather just, maybe it's just because I'm quite like, I'm very much built, not bought. I really do much more prefer to do my own shit, you know, as much as I can't do everything, which is thank God I got Thomas here, because I'd be fucked without him. But stuff I can do, even if I can't do it as well as he could, I kind of like doing it myself. And he's busy anyway. He has to make a living from this shit. I don't like asking him to do stuff, because he won't ask for any money for it, but he's busy. So it's like, I don't want to take his time away to do stuff, which is what I'm thinking about the exhaust. I mean, the Mercedes exhaust, as in the mid-mount turbo crazy, you know, it's like literally custom exhaust from manifolds back, twin scroll to the turbo, and then 4-inch from the turbo back. I made that whole thing, and pretty it ain't, but it's fucking doesn't, it never leaks, it works, it's, you know, and it'll last. And it's what I kind of think about the exhaust for this. It's like, I'm not any kind of fabricator, but I can make an exhaust and I can weld it together that it won't break, you know. So, as much as he doesn't agree, I really kind of think I might do it myself. I don't know. But it's the same with this. I don't know. Will it come up that much nicer if I sandblast it compared to, you know, wire wheeling the shit out of it? And in a way, does it matter? You won't be able to see it. I want it just to be functional and not fall apart anytime soon, because it's you know, this car's a keeper, but it ain't gonna be a show car. So I don't know. But yeah, next job is to clean up everything and get all the bushes out, which I'm not looking forward to. I mean, these are the the part of the diff mount bushes, and they sort of fell apart because they're a bit fucked. But the rest of them, none of them look great, I must admit. The only bushes that look quite good condition are these poly ones. The rest of them could well be 30 years old because they do not look pretty. But they still don't look like they're coming out without a fucking fight. But that's for another day, because now it's gone 10 o'clock. I've probably been here 11 hours. Most of it not even on my own bloody car, because I was fixing that Corsa. I'm filthy. It's going to take me over an hour, I reckon, to tidy up, because there's so much shit out at the moment. And so yeah, I think I'm going to sign off for now. But I hope you enjoyed it. I've made good progress, so I can't complain. But now it's just a job of tidying up. I'm fucking knackered as well. So yeah, it's all getting there. And yeah, I just want this fucking thing complete. I'm not going to bodge it to make it complete fast, but I don't want to delay it by fucking accidentally making some kind of showy car out of it. It's the same with, I'm sure a lot of people won't agree about not, spending, getting it properly resprayed. Because if I do that, you know what resprays cost. It costs a fucking fortune, and I don't care about stuff like that. So, as much as people might be like, I honestly might do it myself, satin black, because I can do it in a fucking day, and it will look fine, good, and it's easily fixable, and it doesn't cost me £1,000 plus like a fucking respray will. So, yeah, I'm building this for me, not anybody else. So, I shouldn't be giving a shit about what anyone else thinks, but... So yeah, that's me done. I'm filthy and knackered, and I got a lot of tidying up to do. So that'll do for this video. No action really, a bit of cutting, but unlucky. If you're following the build, you still want to see the shit anyway, don't you? It can't just all be action. So yeah, next video on this will be, well, it's going to be like cutting out bushes, so I wouldn't look forward to that too much, but I want to do some action stuff. Probably the Volvo. I was going to take the Volvo drifting today. There was a drift at Birmingham Wheels today. Today's Sunday. But I looked at my bank balance and realised I was fucking skint, so I gave it a miss and come here instead. But yeah, that's me done for tonight, and hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time.